Hello, everybody. My name is Graham Elwood, and you are watching the Boom Political Vigilante, now with more Bitcoin. So one of the reasons I have been such an advocate for Bitcoin is it empowers regular people against the central banks and against the governments that, believe me, they want to control every aspect of your life. So they want you to get a central banking digital currency. They want you to do that. However, because America, even though it is no longer a representative democracy, I don't know if it ever was, it is definitely now a kleptocracy run by oligarchs. There are still some people and some politicians that are waking up to the fact that Bitcoin is, it's you should have the right to use Bitcoin and own it however you want to. So Oklahoma just passed this law. This is like less than 2 weeks ago. And, there's a lot of stipulations in it. We're going to go through this article and break it down and everything, but this is a step in the right direction, in my opinion. Is this a perfect thing? I don't know. But this is a step in the right direction. Does there need to be I think there needs to be regulation of the altcoins because they seem to be way more corrupt, and the exchanges need to be regulated to a certain extent. But I don't want the government saying you can't use Bitcoin. They're going to try to outlaw Bitcoin like that. That's not going to work. But here's what happened. So Oklahoma passes landmark bill protecting Bitcoin rights. This was in Forbes, right? Mainstream financial news outlet. Oklahoma has made a landmark move by passing a bill to protect Bitcoin rights. Governor Kevin Stitt signed the bill into law on May 13th. Championed by Representative Samuel Bryan Hill and Senator Coleman. The legislation establishes key protections for Bitcoin and digital asset holders. Effective November 1st, 2024, it ensures fundamental rights for individuals and businesses engaged in digital asset activities, positioning Oklahoma as a leader in the digital economy. Dennis Porter, CEO and co-founder of Satoshi Action Fund, highlighted the importance of state-level initiatives, stating, Americans should wake up to the incredible political opportunity that is available at the state level. Throughout history, multiple movements and industries have been utilized the states to deliver powerful victories for their cause. Now, Satoshi Action is poised to put the Bitcoin and digital asset ecosystem onto the same trajectory. Well, that's a good point too, because this is that person is absolutely correct. I mean, look at a lot of laws. I mean, gay marriage being one of them. It started on the state level. I think Hawaii had it. And then there was a lot of pressure, but also medical marijuana started. There was, whatever, 12 or 13 states that allowed medical marijuana. Now you have states like California and Oregon where it's completely legal. And there's still states that are says marijuana is an evil drug that makes you listen to satanic rock and roll or whatever. But many laws have been pushed on the state level. And this is the thing I say. I don't have a lot of faith in the American electoral and the American political system on the federal level. I don't have a lot of faith on the federal level. On the local level, you can actually move the needle a little bit. This is why I say, vote with your dollars. And one of the way you vote with your dollars is pay close attention to your state assembly members, your mayor, your governor, and tell them we want this. And so first of all, try to create a Bitcoin bubble, a circular Bitcoin ecosystem in your little town. Do you have a little small business? Start just accepting Bitcoin for payments. That's the first thing you got to do. You can still take cash and check and credit cards and whatever all the ways if you run a business, all the ways you're accepting payments now, you can keep all of those. Just start adding, hey, we also take Bitcoin, right? And then start encouraging some businesses, some vendors or whatever that you do business with. Let's say you're a contractor. You go around, you help, you fix people's houses or whatever. Just start saying, by the way, I accept Bitcoin. Someone's going to go, oh, and then go to a Bitcoin meetup in your area, because I guarantee there's a Bitcoin meetup in your area. Just type in Bitcoin meetup near me. And there's probably once a month, a bunch of Bitcoiners are getting together in your town at some brew pub or something. They're all over the world. These Bitcoin meetups are all over the world, and go there and say, hey, I have this, I'm a contractor and I'm taking Bitcoin now. I have a little coffee shop. I'm a corporate coach, whatever your business is, just start accepting Bitcoin, and then go to a Bitcoin meetup and say, I'm accepting Bitcoin. Anyone else here? Who else? And then they'll start going, oh, this business does and that. And you can, and they might then list you as a Bitcoin business. And then the word will get out within the Bitcoin community to go support this person. And then you also can then advocate for your local politicians. Hey, I'm a small business owner in this state, in this town, in this county, and I accept Bitcoin, and it's totally transparent. I'm not running drugs or whatever. And this is how this works. I think Americans, we want, like, every 4 years, we just vote for some president, and this person goes into the White House and they're going to wave this magic wand and fix everything. And that's not how it works. You got to do it on a local level. And it's going to take time, but just keep. And what the passing of this bill tells me is the thing that most of you, if you're Bitcoiners, already know, is you can't change Bitcoin. Bitcoin changes you. And the state of Oklahoma might be waking up to that. Somebody just said, just experiment with the QR code. I just sent you $5 to let me know if it works. Well, real time, we will check that. That's really cool. Let me check. Hold on. I'm having a hard time looking it up. Hold on. Give me a sec. It hasn't shown up yet, but I'm sure it will. I'll let you know when it does. Thank you for doing that. That's really cool. So if we get back to this article, thank you for supporting the show. Really, really appreciate that. Super pilotish. Right on. So let's get into the key provisions of the bill. The bill guarantees the right to self-custody, allowing individuals to securely hold their digital asset. It permits using Bitcoin and other digital currencies for transactions without additional taxes, aligning digital assets with traditional legal tender regarding tax treatment. This aims to streamline the use of cryptocurrencies in everyday transactions and foster a more inclusive financial environment, which is that's good. I'm totally fine with that. Self-custody is the key, though, because that's what Bitcoin is. I should be allowed to go buy Bitcoin on whatever exchange I want and move it to a cold wallet, and no one should be able to mess with me on that. Just like if I want to go buy gold coins and then put them in a safety deposit box or a safe or whatever, I'm allowed to do that. If I want to have cash and put it in a safe or a safety deposit box, I should be allowed to do that. And I think that's very critical. And the right to spend Bitcoin and digital assets, the right to mine Bitcoin is also key, right? Because they try to outlaw mining, right? The bill supports Bitcoin mining. It protects the right to mine Bitcoin at home and through commercial operations. Oklahoma hopes to attract more blockchain businesses and investment by ensuring legal clarity and stability. The legislation prevents local governments from imposing restrictive measures specifically targeting mining activities. Mining, let's be honest, mining is good for business. It's good for a local economy. I mean, first of all, if you're just an individual and you want to buy a Bitcoin mining rig and set it up in your home, you should be able to do that. It's also good if, like, some big company comes in, buys a warehouse space, puts Bitcoin mining in there, puts solar panels on. I mean, there's jobs and stuff that are employed. Like, why is that illegal? The only time governments make it illegal is because they're threatened by Bitcoin. That's why they do it. The legislative prevents local governments from imposing restrictive measures specifically targeting mining activities such as additional noise ordinances while still adhering to general noise regulations. Sure, if it's super loud, you got to make it quiet. That's fair. Oklahoma has now placed its flag in the ground to show the world they will protect the right for Bitcoiners to access the technology. The bill also stipulates that Oklahoma Corporation Commission cannot create discriminatory rate schedules for mining companies, ensuring fair utility rates and encouraging sustainable and economical viable mining practices. This is big, man. The Oklahoma Bitcoin Association, led by Storm Run, was crucial in passing the bill. Their lobbying and awareness efforts secured legislative support. Eric Peterson, policy director of Satoshi Action Fund, also contributed significantly. The legislation is seen as a step toward greater adoption of digital currencies, aiming to attract businesses, foster innovation, and create economic opportunities, particularly in rural areas benefiting from Bitcoin mining. Right? So that's what I'm talking about. You could go to your local Bitcoin meetup. You could reach out to this Satoshi Action Fund organization and say, hey, I live in such and such a state. How do we push a bill like Oklahoma did? And they're going to go, this is what you do. Because you want to show the state legislators, the state politicians, this is why this is good for us, and give them the data and the numbers. So this is good news, everybody. And you know what this is going to do? Probably attract these big Bitcoin mining companies. If they get chased out of another country or another state, they're going to go, let's go to Oklahoma. So I always say, man, buy a little Bitcoin. This is not financial advice. I'm not a paid financial advisor, but what I do, I buy a little Bitcoin whenever I can. And then I try to use some of it in a Bitcoin circular economy and companies that use it. And then I support other Bitcoiners and I hodl. So you can support the show here, bam, with Bitcoin down here on Venmo, on Rockfin, and on Patreon. I also have grahamillan.com, the website. You can sign up there for the newsletter. We don't do it. We do like, 5-6 newsletters a year. We're not even doing every month. So thanks for supporting what we're doing, you guys. Follow the money, connect the dots, and buy Bitcoin and shave your knuckles for justice. Boom.